So you've met a special someone and things are going well, but they're not progressing. Hi, I'm Savannah Taylor and welcome back to the Alabaster Box, where my passion is to help you reach your relationship goals with your truth, your worth, and your best. You know, casual dating definitely has its place, especially if you're still in school, you've started a new job, you travel for work, or you're just not ready for a committed relationship. But if you are ready for a committed relationship, but things don't seem to be evolving, I'm going to give you 4 signs that you might be caught up in what's called a situationship. So if that sounds like something that makes you want to give me a minute here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. You know, as women, one of the things that we really hate to admit is when we've wasted our time. We're nurturers by nature. So when we see potential in something, we go all in with our time, our emotions, our bodies, and sometimes even our money. So when we're wrong about someone, it's like having to make a U-turn after driving in the wrong direction for hours, because now we got to go all the way back just to get back to where we were. So if this video can help you shorten that trip back to wholeness, or even just avoid the U-turn altogether, wonderful. So let's get started. Sign number 4 that you're in a situationship: your connection lacks labels. You know, people who are in a relationship, when they're in company, there's no hesitation in as far as introducing their significant other. This is my girlfriend. This is my fiance. This is my wife. Because it indicates we've had a discussion about what we are to one another. And we also want to declare it to everyone else in the room. Don't come over here asking for their phone number because they're with me, right? Labels, and sometimes people refer to it as titles, are very important. And if you don't have that, it's an indication that you might be in a situationship, especially if you've been together for quite some time. So if you find yourself at a party and your significant other introduces you by your name, you might be in a situationship. The third sign that you might be in a situationship is that your conversations lack plans for the future. People who are in a relationship see themselves as together. So when it comes to the weekends or holidays, the expectation is, well, who else are you going to spend that time with? You know, who else are you going to kiss under the mistletoe? Who else are you going to open the new year with? What are we going to take for the 4th of July picnic, right? Because we're together, and there's that expectation that we can talk about celebrating those times together. Whereas if you don't really have that definition in your connection to this other person, you don't really have that luxury, and therefore you could be in a situationship. The second sign that you could be in a situationship is that your connection to the other person lacks boundaries. You know, when my husband and I were dating, there would be times where I would call and it would go to voicemail, but he would call me right back to let me know, hey, can I call you back when I get out of the meeting? Or can I call you when I get into the car? And it showed a level of respect, of letting me know, hey, are you okay? You're there. And when you don't have that kind of communication in a relationship, it's a strong indication that you're not a priority and that you're in a situationship. So just keep that in mind, because sometimes we do have a tendency to make excuses for bad behavior, and that's something you definitely don't want to make a habit of doing. And the number 1 sign that you could be in a situationship is you have to ask. You know, my mother, she gave me some powerful words as a young woman, and I've never forgotten them. She used to tell me, Savannah, when a man loves you, you never have to wonder. And that was so powerful to me, because as women, we all know the guys that we don't like when they really like us. I mean, you have to beat them off with a stick. Just, you know, stay away, stay away. But it somehow gets flipped around in our minds when it's clear that that other person is not really into us, but we continue pursuing it and like I said, wasting our time. And it's important to really take into consideration that when a man really loves you, you really never have to wonder about that. I talk about this briefly in my book, He Who Finds a Wife. There's a phenomenon when it comes to men. You know, if they're looking for a girlfriend, they might ask their friends, hey, what do you think of so-and-so? Or what do you think of so-and-so? But when it comes to their wife, oh no, there's very little discussion, like, you gonna be my wife. I've heard girls say that. A lot of times you might hear women say, yeah, I'm gonna be, what, excuse you? And then they're married. But it is a phenomenon with men. They are very clear when they are pursuing you. There's very little question as to if they really want what they want you for and what they're pursuing you for. So when it comes to your relationships, when a man loves you, you really never have to wonder about that. And if you do have to wonder, if you have to ask, you might be in a situationship. The best way to avoid situationship is to, first of all, recognize it for what it is. And that's called recognizing your truth, because that's the only way you can know your worth. And if you don't know your worth, you can't live your best. So my hope is that you really do reach your relationship goals with your truth, your worth, and your best, and that you see the signs early on to save yourself some time. Hey, if you've gotten any value out of this video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. And if you like what you've heard, there is a lot more where this came from in my book that I mentioned earlier, He Who Finds a Wife, Biblical Principles for the Believing Woman Who Dates. It's available on Amazon, and I've included a link down below in the description of this video. And before you go, quick question. What are some other signs that you think people should recognize that means they're in a situationship? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. You can also hit me on Facebook at Savannah's Alabaster Box, and I'm also on Instagram. Until then, don't forget to live your truth, live your worth, live your best, and I'll check you next time when we see what's inside the Alabaster Box. Bye.